place where stories whisper softly in the twilight. As you settle into your most comfortable space, allow your body to gently sink, releasing any lingering tensions from the day. Feel the soft cushion beneath you, the warmth or coolness of the air around you, and let a deep, slow breath fill your lungs. Then release it fully, letting go. You're safe here, wrapped in stillness and ready to journey into a calming story. There's nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, except right here, listening. Imagine now a path winding through gentle, old-growth woods under a sky painted with the last blush of twilight. The air is cool and clean, carrying the faint scent of damp earth and ancient stone. Ahead, through a clearing, rises the silhouette of an old castle, not imposing, but quietly grand, its towers softened by time, almost breathing with history. This isn't a place of battle or urgency, but of quiet repose, a guardian of forgotten tales. As you draw closer, you notice the gentle gleam of a light within. Stepping through a massive, yet welcoming stone archway, you find yourself in a spacious entrance hall. The air here is still, carrying a faint, pleasant coolness. High above, faint tapestries, their colors softened by centuries, hang gracefully. Your steps are muffled on the smooth, worn stone floor, a testament to countless quiet journeys before yours. Ahead, a long, quiet corridor stretches into the soft glow of what might be a distant hearth, beckoning you further into the heart of this slumbering fortress of lore. The long, quiet corridor now seems to stretch endlessly, yet invitingly before you. Each step you take is softened by the ancient, worn flagstones beneath, their surfaces cool to the touch, smoothed by countless silent journeys of times long past. The air here holds a faint, earthy scent, mingled with a distant, comforting aroma of wood smoke and old parchment, whispering tales of forgotten scholars and guardians. As you draw nearer, the soft glow at the corridor's end resolves into the warm, flickering embrace of a substantial hearth. You emerge into a spacious, yet remarkably cozy chamber. It isn't grand in a boastful way, but rather in its quiet dignity, a silent testament to its age and purpose. The walls are lined with tall, dark wood bookshelves, packed tightly with volumes of every conceivable size, their bindings worn smooth, their pages holding untold secrets and histories. A heavy, hand-woven tapestry depicting a serene landscape under a silver moon hangs gracefully near the archway you just passed through, its colors muted by time, but still radiating a soft, gentle beauty. In the center of the room, the large stone hearth casts a dancing, golden light across the space. Logs burn slowly, their quiet crackle the only sound in the peaceful stillness, a rhythmic lullaby against the backdrop of the fortress's deep silence. Before the hearth, two plush, oversized armchairs, upholstered in deep crimson velvet, invite repose, their cushions yielding softly as if anticipating a weary traveler. A small, round, polished wooden table sits between them, currently empty, awaiting a cup of warm tea or a forgotten map. This room feels like a permanent save point for the soul, a place where the weight of journeys past can simply dissolve into the warm, comforting air. The gentle warmth emanating from the fire wraps around you, a soft, invisible blanket against the quiet cool of the fortress. The gentle warmth emanating from the fire wraps around you, a soft, invisible blanket against the quiet cool of the fortress. As the embers whisper their slow good nights, the flickering light begins to dance across the smooth, worn flagstones of the chamber. These stones have seen countless dawns and dusks, silent witnesses to centuries of quiet watchfulness. The very air here feels ancient and settled, infused with a deep, comforting calm. Beyond the immediate comfort of the hearth, a tall, arched window reveals a sliver of the velvet night sky. No harsh stars, just a soft, milky glow from a distant moon, casting a gentle, silver hue upon the inner courtyard. The courtyard, usually bustling with the soft shuffle of guards or the distant clatter of provisions, is now utterly still, a peaceful tableau under the moon's gaze. A faint, distant hoot of an owl drifts in, a natural lullaby from the world beyond these thick walls. You notice the quiet presence of an old oaken desk tucked into an alcove, its surface polished by generations of hands, bearing the faint, ghostly rings of forgotten mugs. Beside it, a sturdy, high-backed chair invites quiet contemplation. Upon the desk rests a single, heavy tome, its leather cover aged to a deep, dark brown, clasped shut with an intricate metal buckle. It seems to hold stories untold, secrets whispered only to the silence of the fortress walls, perhaps a chronicle of guardians long past, or maps of ancient, forgotten routes. The air here carries a faint, earthy scent of old parchment and cool stone, mingled with the lingering perfume of hearth smoke. Everything within this ancient keep breathes a quiet, enduring peace, as if time itself has slowed its hurried pace, allowing everything to simply be, safe within its protective embrace. Beyond the gentle glow of the hearth, the keep's ancient stone hallways stretch, winding softly into the deeper quiet. Each step here is cushioned by centuries of silence, echoing only the most subtle of sounds. A soft, cool breeze occasionally whispers through an unseen archway, carrying with it the scent of old parchment and distant moss. You follow this whisper, drawn towards a faint, warm light emanating from a half-open door. Stepping through, you find yourself in a small, circular chamber. This isn't a grand hall, but a cozy, private study, tucked away from the more public spaces. Shelves of well-worn books line the curved walls, their spines a kaleidoscope of muted colors, each holding stories whispered through generations. A single, heavy wooden table sits in the center, bearing a flickering oil lamp that casts dancing shadows across the ceiling. On the table, a quill rests beside an open, leather-bound journal, its pages filled with elegant, faded script. Perhaps it holds forgotten tales or musings from a long-ago scholar. The air here is still and comforting, thick with the scent of aged paper and beeswax from the lamp. Dust motes, like tiny, slow-moving stars, drift lazily in the lamp's golden beam. A comfortable, high-backed armchair, upholstered in deep emerald velvet, invites you to settle in by the window, which offers a sliver of the moonlit courtyard outside. The distant hoot of an owl, a soft, familiar sound, occasionally drifts in, reminding you of the quiet night embracing this ancient place. Everything here feels preserved, a quiet sanctuary where thoughts can unfurl and dreams can begin to take shape. Nestled safely within the keep's enduring embrace, the keep, ancient and vast, holds its secrets close, but it also offers a profound sense of peace. The soft, ambient glow of the magical lanterns, perhaps powered by some gentle arcane energy, casts long, dancing shadows across the polished stone walls. You find yourself drawn deeper into its hushed corridors, each turn revealing more of its timeless beauty. The air here carries a faint, sweet scent, like old parchment and dried herbs, a whisper of forgotten knowledge waiting to be rediscovered. As you wander, a soft, rhythmic sound begins to emerge. Not quite a hum, not quite a rustle, but something in between, a soothing murmur that seems to come from all directions. It's the sound of the wind, perhaps, making its way through the narrow gaps and high windows of the outer walls, singing a gentle lullaby to the sleeping stones. Or perhaps it's the subtle creak of ancient wooden shelves settling comfortably under the weight of countless tomes. Gentle wind sounds you come upon a grand archway, subtly illuminated, leading into what feels like the heart of this scholarly sanctuary. It's not opulent, but rather functional and beautiful in its simplicity, a testament to centuries of quiet study. Beyond the arch, you glimpse rows and rows of tall, dark wood bookshelves, stretching upwards toward a vaulted ceiling that disappears into gentle shadow. A lone, ornate reading desk sits near a window, bathed in the soft, ethereal moonlight filtering through the high, arched panes. The space invites you to simply be, to breathe slowly, and let the quiet embrace you fully. The mountain library unfolds its pages, not for reading, but for dreaming. The soft light filtering through the high, arched panes now seems to guide you further inward, past the main hall. Deeper into the mountain library, the air grows stiller, carrying the faint, comforting scent of aged parchment and polished wood. It's a fragrance unique to places where knowledge has accumulated over centuries, a silent testament to countless stories held within. You find yourself drawn towards a quiet alcove tucked away like a hidden gem between towering shelves, laden with books that whisper tales of forgotten eras. Here, the light shifts subtly, becoming warmer, more intimate. A single plush armchair sits by a low, glowing lantern, its soft light casting gentle, dancing shadows on the spines of ancient tomes. The armchair looks incredibly inviting, its velvet worn smooth by generations of quiet contemplation, a silent promise of comfort and rest. Beside it, on a small, sturdy table, a thick, leather-bound volume lies open. Its pages are filled with elegant, faded script, not meant for urgent reading or deciphering complex lore, but for slow, contemplative discovery, perhaps only glimpsed in the soft, peripheral vision of a dreaming mind. Above, the high, vaulted ceilings seem to hold the quiet wisdom of centuries, absorbing any stray sound into their vastness, making the silence profound, yet never empty. The shelves themselves are works of art, carved from dark, rich wood, with subtle, flowing patterns that catch the soft lamplight, hinting at the skilled hands that shaped this sanctuary. This alcove feels like a secret haven, a place where time slows to a near standstill, allowing thoughts to unfurl and dreams to begin their gentle ascent. The weight of the mountain above only adds to the sense of protective enclosure, a safe space where the outside world feels wonderfully distant. Each book is a quiet companion, and the air itself seems to hum with peaceful potential. Beyond the comforting hum, your gaze might drift along the well-worn spines of the books themselves. Each one holds stories, not clamoring for attention, but resting patiently, their adventures paused, waiting only for a gentle hand to awaken them. The faint scent of aged paper and something akin to dried herbs lingers in the air, a quiet perfume of forgotten tales and ancient wisdom. A soft, warm light, perhaps from a distant, enchanted window, or a steadily burning magical orb, catches the edges of dust motes dancing in the stillness, making them sparkle like tiny, ephemeral stars in the gentle glow. As your eyes trace the lines of the wooden shelves, you notice the occasional curious artifact nestled amongst the silent tomes. A small, intricately carved wooden bird, its wings forever spread in silent flight, perched on a dusty atlas, or a smooth, polished stone, perhaps once a key or a forgotten relic from a distant journey, now holding court between two leather-bound volumes. These small treasures don't demand interpretation. They simply exist, adding to the gentle tapestry of this quiet sanctuary. The silence here isn't empty, but full of soft possibilities, a space where thoughts can unspool without haste, where the echoes of quests fade into peaceful reminiscence. The wooden floor beneath, perhaps covered by a faded, richly patterned rug, feels solid and grounding. Every surface seems to absorb sound, creating a pocket of profound calm that wraps around you. You might imagine the quiet creak of a distant floorboard, or the almost imperceptible sigh of the building settling. But even these subtle sounds would only serve to deepen the prevailing peace, like soft whispers from the very structure of this ancient place. This is a place where time slows, where the journey's end is just as meaningful as its beginning. A true haven for quiet contemplation after long travels. A save point for the weary soul. Within this ancient place, the air itself feels still and hallowed. You find yourself drawn further inside, perhaps towards a soft, flickering light in the distance. It leads you to a spacious, yet incredibly cozy common area. A grand hearth dominates one wall, its stones aged and smoothed by countless centuries, now radiating a gentle warmth that chases away any lingering chill from the outside world. Campfire crackling orange and yellow flames dance behind an iron grate, casting long, wavering shadows across the sturdy wooden tables and comfortable, worn benches. The scent of old wood, a faint hint of spiced tea, and the clean aroma of a recently stoked fire mingle in the air, creating an atmosphere of deep comfort and security. You notice ancient tapestries adorning the walls, depicting forgotten constellations and serene landscapes, their threads softened by time, telling tales without words. The only sounds are the rhythmic, soft crackle of the fire, and perhaps the gentle rustle of leaves against a window pane far off. No hurried footsteps, no clanging armor, just the quiet hum of an old building breathing. Here, every surface seems to invite you to rest, to let go of the day's demands. The light from the hearth is soft, a warm embrace that dims the edges of the room into tranquil twilight. It's a place designed for quiet contemplation, where thoughts can gently drift and the body can truly unwind. A true sanctuary for the quiet moments between adventures. Even the dust motes dancing in the warm air seem to move with a gentle, unhurried grace, reflecting the profound peace that settles over everything here. This warm glow, this silent testament to enduring comfort, holds you gently in its embrace, promising restorative calm. This enduring comfort, a gentle warmth, seems to emanate from the very heart of the room. Perhaps it's the quiet crackle of the embers in the stone hearth, casting dancing shadows on the worn wooden floorboards. Or perhaps it's the soft light from a single enchanted lantern, hanging by a sturdy chain from the ceiling, its glow a steady, unwavering beacon. You notice the smooth, cool texture of the stone fireplace as your gaze drifts, the faint scent of aged wood, and a hint of something sweet, like dried herbs, lingering in the air. Beyond the soft light, the room begins to reveal more of its quiet story. A heavy, yet comfortable armchair sits by the hearth, its fabric well loved and bearing the marks of many peaceful nights. A small, round table beside it holds a single, half-read book, its pages soft with time, and a ceramic mug, now cool, hinting at a recently finished warm drink. Each object here seems to whisper tales of quiet respite of travelers finding solace and rest after long journeys. The window, framed by simple, thick curtains, offers a glimpse of the outside world, now hushed beneath a blanket of starlight. Distant, gentle whispers of wind might occasionally brush against the glass, a soft, natural lullaby that only deepens the sense of security within. This sanctuary, this haven from the world's demands, invites you to simply be, to let the peace settle deep within your bones. As tranquil as the starlit night, beyond the pane, the soft glow from the ancient, meticulously carved wooden shelves deepens the quiet, painting the vast space in hues of amber and shadow. Each shelf stretches upwards, like silent sentinels, holding bound knowledge from forgotten eras, their spines a silent testament to countless hands that have sought wisdom here. The air, cool and fresh from the mountain peaks, carries the faint, comforting scent of aged paper and polished wood, a subtle perfume of history and contemplation. You might notice the gentle flickering of a distant, hidden lantern, casting long, dancing shadows across the rows of books, making them seem to sway in a slow, rhythmic dance. Soft crackling of a distant fireplace. There's no urgency here, no rush to discover anything specific, only the quiet invitation to observe, to let your gaze wander along the hushed corridors of this vast, sprawling mountain library. Perhaps your eyes rest upon a small, ornate alcove carved directly into the living mountain rock, a perfect, secluded nook for a solitary reader. A plush, well-worn armchair sits there, draped with a soft, hand-knitted throw, its fabric worn smooth by years of comforting weary travelers and thoughtful scholars. Beside it, a low, round table holds a single, half-read volume, its pages turned down to mark a passage in a story now paused. It's a scene of tranquil contemplation, a moment suspended in time where the pursuit of knowledge merges with profound peace. The whispers of the wind outside, a soft, almost imperceptible sigh against the mountain stone, adds to the profound sense of calm that permeates these walls. This space is a guardian of stories, a silent observer of the passage of ages, and in its quiet embrace, you feel yourself drifting, a part of its eternal calm. The library breathes slowly, a vast, gentle presence, holding countless narratives, waiting patiently. The library breathes slowly, a vast, gentle presence, holding countless narratives, waiting patiently. You find yourself drawn deeper into its hushed expanse, past towering shelves that reach towards a vaulted ceiling, their wooden frames dark with the luster of time. Each shelf holds generations of thoughts, bound in leather, parchment, and even some strange, smooth metals that hum faintly with stored knowledge. A soft, golden light filters in from an unseen source, perhaps a high clerestory window carved into the mountain rock itself, illuminating dust motes dancing in the still air. The air carries the faint, comforting scent of old paper and ancient wood, a fragrance that speaks of forgotten stories and quiet wisdom. There's a subtle echo in the vast chambers, a whisper of silence that deepens the sense of peace. You gently follow a winding path between the stacks, the carpeted floor absorbing your every step, creating a feeling of weightlessness. Here, the spines of books are not just titles, but gateways. Some are adorned with faded, intricate illustrations of star maps, others with delicate botanical etchings, and a few are bound in covers that feel like smooth, cool stone. You don't need to read them to feel their presence, their stories resting quietly, radiating a gentle energy. At the end of this winding path, a small, circular alcove opens up. It's a tranquil nook, carved directly into the mountain, with a single, low stone bench covered in a plush, moss-green cushion. Above it, a soft, ethereal glow emanates from a crystalline formation embedded in the rock, casting a warm, consistent light over a small, sturdy lectern. On the lectern rests an open, oversized tome, its pages thick and yellowed, filled with elegant, sprawling script and faint, hand-drawn constellations. This quiet sanctuary within the library feels like a personal haven, a place where time slows to a near standstill, inviting you to simply be. The quiet sanctuary hums with an almost imperceptible stillness, a gentle embrace that melts away any lingering thoughts. The soft, ambient light filtering through a nearby, perhaps unseen, window or emanating from a carefully placed magical lantern, casts long, comforting shadows across the wooden floor and the towering shelves that define this space. It's a light that doesn't demand attention, but rather invites peaceful observation. Your gaze might drift back to the open book on the sturdy, ancient desk. The sprawling script, though unreadable in its complexity, holds a silent beauty, each curve and line a testament to forgotten knowledge. The faint, hand-drawn constellations seem to shimmer softly on the aged parchment, tiny universes captured within the pages, waiting for a patient eye to trace their patterns. This isn't a book to be rushed through. It's an artifact meant to be savored, a gateway to a tranquil, star-filled night. Around this desk, the air is still, carrying only the faintest scent of old paper and perhaps a hint of the crisp mountain air that finds its way through the thick stone walls. The shelves surrounding this private space are filled with countless volumes, their spines a patchwork of faded leather and polished wood, each holding untold stories and silent histories. They stand as quiet guardians, creating a secluded haven where the outside world feels distant and unimportant. Here, in this cozy corner of the vast mountain library, you are simply allowed to exist, to breathe slowly, and to let the gentle, quiet envelop you completely. The soft glow of the lantern, or the moon perhaps, reflects dimly off a polished tabletop, adding to the serene atmosphere. The soft glow continues to hold the space, a gentle invitation to simply be. On the polished tabletop, perhaps you notice the subtle grain of ancient wood, smoothed by countless hands that have rested here, perhaps in thought, perhaps in the quiet act of reading. This table, like so many others in this mountain library, bears the quiet history of study and reflection. It stands as a silent witness to countless hours spent in the pursuit of understanding, a grounding point in this vast expanse of collected thought. Your gaze might drift from the tabletop, rising slowly to the towering shelves that seem to reach for the very heavens themselves. Rows upon rows, filled with volumes bound in leather, some faded to soft hues of ochre and moss green, others still retaining the deep richness of burgundy or indigo. Each one a silent sentinel of knowledge, waiting patiently for a curious mind to unlock its secrets. The sheer scale is breathtaking, yet not overwhelming, for the gentle light softens every edge, every shadow. The air here is cool, carrying the faint, comforting scent of aged paper and dry parchment, a fragrance unique to places where history is carefully preserved. Dust motes dance in the soft light that filters down from unseen high windows, creating a slow, mesmerizing ballet in the stillness. There is no rush, no urgency, only the profound peace of a sanctuary dedicated to timeless wisdom. You might feel a gentle pull to explore the labyrinthine aisles, to trace a finger along the spines of forgotten tales. But for now, simply observing is enough. The vastness of the collection, the quiet promise of untold stories, all contribute to a feeling of profound calm, settling softly around you like a well-worn cloak. You are simply present, enveloped by the quiet grandeur of this mountain library. The quiet grandeur of this mountain library continues to embrace you, a timeless sanctuary nestled high above the world. The air here is still, carrying only the faintest whisper of ancient pages turning in the gentle currents, a sound almost imagined. Your gaze might softly drift now from the towering shelves that reach towards the vaulted ceiling to a more intimate corner, perhaps a section dedicated to ancient cartography. Here, maps of forgotten realms and star-charted skies are carefully rolled and stored in polished wooden cabinets, each one an invitation to quiet contemplation. Each cabinet drawer, when glimpsed, holds promises of journeys never taken, of peaks scaled only in ink, of oceans charted by starlight. The timber of these cabinets gleams softly under the ambient light, filtering through high, arched windows, casting long, peaceful shadows across the worn stone floor. Dust motes dance lazily in these tranquil light beams, like tiny golden stars suspended in the calm, unhurried breath of the library. It's a silent, comforting dance, as old as the mountains themselves, unnoticed by most, yet profoundly reassuring in its quiet persistence. The scent of aged parchment and dry, fragrant wood is a gentle presence, mingling with a subtle, earthy aroma, perhaps from the distant rock of the mountain itself. This unique perfume of knowledge and earth fills the space, a quiet invitation to simply be, to absorb the peaceful stillness that permeates every corner, every shelf, every ancient tome. The soft, even glow of magical lanterns, positioned discreetly, casts a warm, golden hue upon the spines of countless books, adding to the pervasive sense of warmth and security. You feel a deepening sense of peace, a quiet anchor in this vast, silent sea of stories. The pervasive sense of warmth and security deepens. You feel a quiet anchor in this vast, silent sea of stories. Beyond the soft glow, the shelves stretch further than the eye can easily trace, disappearing into gentle, shadowed alcoves. Each volume, whether a thick, leather-bound tome or a slender scroll tucked into a carved wooden case, seems to hold its own quiet breath, a whisper of ages past. You might imagine the steady hands that once carefully penned these words, the long journeys they describe, or the ancient maps they might conceal within their brittle, aged pages. A faint, almost imperceptible scent of old parchment and dry cedar hangs in the air, a comforting aroma that speaks of knowledge preserved and time standing still. It's a scent that reminds you of gentle history, without urgency or demand. As your gaze drifts along the towering rows, you notice how the light, whether from the enchanted floating orbs or a distant, unseen window, highlights different sections. One area might shimmer with the soft sheen of polished dark wood, while another reveals the muted colors of embroidered cloth covers. There, in a quiet corner, a single, soft beam of moonlight has found its way through a high, arched window, casting a silver path across a section of forgotten lore. It illuminates a low, cushioned armchair, inviting and soft, with a half-read book resting gently upon its arm. It seems its reader simply paused for a moment, intending to return to its embrace, leaving their place marked by a delicate ribbon. This library isn't just a place of books. It's a sanctuary of stillness, where the quiet hum of existence is the only sound, a gentle lullaby whispered by the wisdom of ages. The stillness of this mountain library isn't empty. It's a living quiet, filled with the silent breath of ancient stories, each page a gentle sigh in the grand tapestry of time. As you continue your soft exploration, your gaze might finally settle upon a small, perfectly illuminated alcove. It's carved with thoughtful precision directly into the mountain rock itself, a testament to the patient hands that shaped this sanctuary. Here, a single, plush armchair beckons, its deep velvet fabric worn smooth and comforting by countless readers who have found solace in its embrace over generations. A soft, warm glow, steady and unwavering, emanates from a simple, unadorned lantern hanging just above, suspended by an aged iron chain. This light casts long, peaceful shadows that dance across the tightly packed shelves of leather-bound tomes lining the curving walls of the alcove. These aren't just any books. Some are colossal, their spines groaning under the weight of forgotten maps and faded script, while others are delicate, almost ephemeral, holding whispered poems and fleeting dreams within their fragile pages. The air itself feels ancient, clean and deep, tinged with the subtle scent of old paper, polished cedar, and a faint, sweet aroma of dried mountain herbs, carried in on a whisper of a breeze from a hidden vent high above. Perhaps on a small, finely carved side table beside the armchair, a single, intricate bookmark rests, crafted from polished dark wood and adorned with a tiny, exquisitely detailed carving of a mountain peak. It marks a place in an open volume, waiting patiently for its reader's return. No haste, no urgency, just the quiet promise of discovery and profound rest. Each detail here whispers of a timeless peace, a haven where the world outside fades into a distant memory, replaced by the gentle embrace of knowledge and unwavering tranquility. The only sound is the soft rustle of your own breath, harmonizing with the library's deep, steady calm. The library's deep, steady calm continues to settle around you, a comforting presence in this vast sanctuary of stories. Your gaze might drift now, past the towering shelves, towards a quieter alcove, bathed in the soft, consistent glow of what appears to be a lantern, perpetually lit. It casts a warm, inviting pool of light onto a sturdy wooden table, revealing not books with spines, but carefully rolled scrolls, tied with delicate ribbons of aged silk. Each scroll seems to hold a piece of forgotten history, a whispered secret from a time long past. You imagine the careful, patient hands that once penned these words, the journeys they chronicled across ancient lands, the wisdom they preserved for generations. The air here carries a faint, earthy scent, perhaps of parchment and dried herbs, mingling with the familiar aroma of old wood and quiet dust. It's a scent that speaks of time passing slowly, of knowledge carefully guarded within these silent walls. The gentle light from the lantern illuminates intricate symbols and faded script on the unfurled edges of one scroll, too distant to discern their meaning, but close enough to appreciate their delicate artistry. Perhaps it's a map to a forgotten constellation, or an ancient saga of a slumbering dragon. This corner of the library feels particularly special, a repository of the truly ancient. The flickering glow from the lantern paints dancing shadows on the high ceiling, adding to the serene, almost meditative atmosphere. The mountain winds hum a silent lullaby outside, a soft, distant murmur that only deepens the profound stillness within these hallowed walls. You are a silent observer in this timeless space, cradled by the quiet grandeur of the mountain library, where every breath is a soft echo of peace. every moment is a descent into deeper tranquility. The quietude of the mountain library remains unbroken, a gentle blanket settling over every ancient shelf and every whispered secret held within its pages. You are still here, a silent presence, allowing the stillness to seep into every part of you. The air itself feels old and wise, carrying the faint scent of aged paper, dry cedar, and perhaps a distant, earthy aroma from the stone that forms these grand walls. Your gaze might drift now, past the towering stacks, toward a particular alcove bathed in a softer, almost luminous glow. It's not a harsh light, but a tender luminescence, as if the knowledge stored there radiates its own quiet energy. This corner seems to hold volumes even older, their bindings perhaps a little more worn, their titles etched in scripts that whisper of forgotten eras. As you draw subtly closer in your mind's eye, you notice a small, sturdy reading stand carved from dark, polished wood. Upon it, a single, heavy tome lies open, its vellum pages a creamy, warm ivory. The script upon them is intricate, beautiful, and utterly serene, too ancient to fully decipher, yet conveying a profound sense of peace. No one is actively reading it now. It simply rests, a silent testament to countless hours of quiet study. Dust motes dance lazily in the soft light, filtering through a high, narrow window, like tiny, golden specks suspended in time. The window itself is deeply recessed into the thick stone, offering a sliver of cloud-draped mountain sky far above. But the true view here is inward, into the heart of this sanctuary. The silence is profound, punctuated only by the soft, almost imperceptible settling of ancient wood, or the distant, gentle murmur of mountain wind against the rock. This quiet alcove offers a profound sense of shelter and calm, inviting you to simply be, to let the weight of the day dissolve into this timeless, gentle space. Each breath becomes lighter, each thought more distant, as the peace of the library cradles you deeper into rest. As the library's quiet embraces you, your awareness might gently drift towards a secluded corner, bathed in the soft, steady glow of a single, ancient lantern. This isn't the bright, flickering light of a busy inn, but a deeper, more constant radiance, casting long, peaceful shadows across worn wooden shelves. Here, the air feels even more still, as if holding its breath, preserving secrets and stories within its very atoms. A comfortable, high-backed armchair, upholstered in a deep, faded green velvet, awaits. It looks as though it has cradled countless seekers of knowledge, its arms smooth from generations of gentle touch. Beside it, on a small, sturdy table carved from dark, unyielding mountain wood, rests a single, leather-bound volume. Its cover is unadorned, but its spine bears the faint, almost invisible script of a forgotten language, hinting at tales of serene landscapes and quiet, ancient wisdom. The lantern's light catches the subtle dust motes dancing in the air, creating tiny, shimmering constellations that slowly drift and settle. There's no rush here, no urgency, only the gentle hum of the library's essence, a symphony of silence that encourages your own thoughts to slow, to unfurl and soften. You might imagine the weight of the book in your hands, the whisper of turning pages. But for now, it simply rests, a guardian of slumber, inviting you to simply observe, to simply be enveloped in this profound stillness. The world outside fades, leaving only the quiet pulse of this sacred space, guiding you deeper into tranquil rest. As the last whisper of the outside world truly recedes, you find yourself completely at peace within the heart of this mountain library. The soft, ambient hum of ancient knowledge feels like a gentle lullaby, a comforting presence that has watched over centuries. The faint glow from the single lamp on the reading desk, or perhaps it's the moonlight filtering through a high window, casts long, quiet shadows among the towering bookshelves. Each shelf stands as a silent sentinel filled with stories and forgotten wisdom, now resting alongside you in this shared tranquility. The air itself feels soft, imbued with the scent of aged paper and distant pine. There's no need to decipher every title or understand every inscription. The purpose of this final moment is simply to absorb the quietude, to allow the gentle weight of history and imagination to settle over you like a warm, familiar blanket. The mountain outside stands firm, a guardian of this serene chamber, and its silence echoes within these walls, mirroring the peace that now resides within you. Let your gaze soften, letting the details blur into a comforting tapestry of muted tones and peaceful forms. The journey through these hallowed halls is complete, its gentle echoes now fading into the soft edges of your awareness. All that remains is this deep, unburdened calm. You are safe here, nestled among the guardians of knowledge held by the ancient mountain itself. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to seek. Simply close your eyes, if they aren't already, and allow yourself to drift. The quiet pulse of this sacred space will continue its gentle rhythm, holding you as you surrender to the profound and restorative sleep that awaits. Let go and simply rest.